Hello. 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 Oh. The greater good. The greater good. Well. How's everyone doing? Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Been looking forward to this. My TOV. What's that? Is that a Tau thing? Tell me about the Tau things. Or about the horrible swarm that is trying to eat them. If you're so inclined. Oh. Oh, I finally got some glue. It's the title of a Tau commander. Oh. I haven't taken the wrap off. so I need to actually go do that. Otherwise it reflects. We don't want that, do we? Don't want to show things. Store fresh, yes. Wow. I didn't even know that Revell made glue in such tiny packages, but I didn't need a lot. But I just needed a little bit. But this was like $3 for like, I don't know, like 4 drops of glue. Oh, okay. I'm also going to have to use my corpse hands again. I gotta control my corpse once more to properly start to make these, because I don't want to damage my own bark, right? I want to just use a corpse for best effect. Doesn't matter if that bleeds. Probably they won't bleed, right? Anyway, oh. The Tau Commander. There he is. The boy. The lad. And I also have these. That I still need to paint. I've gotten 2 bits of paint. White and black. Just so I can continue working on these fellas. Wow. There they are. The boys. Let's see, can I... I've removed autofocus because it would autofocus all the time and it would like look a bit wonky. But Mecha Wobots. Also, you think those boys are big? Look at this guy. Oh, this is a cool Tau. This is a Tau. What is this Tau called? I can't quite recall. The specific kind of a battle suit, I think. A fake Tau. I see. This must be new tech that hasn't hit the Imperium yet, so there's no register of it. Oh god, dropping off bits. Anyway, let me just quickly mind control my corpse, so I can handle these things with more care. I also brought up my old bag of miniatures. And I'm not sure, did I show these before? I mean, I showed them to people. I'm not sure if I showed them before. This is what I did like 15 years ago. Looks very weird from above. I need more space. Jeez. It's a drop pod. I really like the way this one turned out because the yellow actually looks good. And I really like drop pods, even though they are apparently really bad in the game, which is what some people care about. Oh, it looks like a starfish. Look. That's nice. It's weird. I didn't realize you did chipping on the paint. What? The chipping on the paint? I guess, is it on top instead of below it? I guess if you were really cool, you'd first paint it metal and then do yellow on top. Like the silver on the edges were painted. Yeah. I really like this one. I think it turned out really well. I think the very first miniature I did, 40k. This one. Here the yellow looks awful. This dreadnought. I did hand paint. I hand painted all the sigils. Ooh, can I zoom in further? I hand painted all of these. And I glued some paper mache on the back where I hand painted some religious text in a cloak kind of way. Good old fisty boys. There's a bug flying around me and it's pissing me off. Yeah, that's what you get, you Tyrannid sympathizer. No, wait, what are they called? Oh my god. Wait, are they called? They're Tyrannids, right? Wait, what are the ones in Helldivers called? Wait, am I mixing them up? The Zerg. That's what you get for playing Zerg. I got a whole box full of these guys. A lot of them unpainted. Oh, this one I never finished. I was gonna hand paint the banner of this one. But that's a lot of steady handwork to paint. They are a Tyrannid. The annoying, bugging Tyrannids. Anyway. I also have these Lord of the Rings ones. From even longer ago. Oh. When did Lord of the Rings come out? Don't answer that. Don't answer that question. Alright. But for now, we're gonna unpack this guy and see if we can build him. And I asked before if someone had some good lore videos for Tau, because I also want to learn about the Tau. I know a little bit, but I don't know an awful lot. They're like orange lizards from Rainworld. What? The thing flying around you? You should be worried. Once they find you, they all know you're there. Is that what the orange ones did? I can't quite remember what they all did. Just hated them. Oh, Tyrannids. Oh, right, because of a hive mind, right? Yeah. Anyway, I got a video. This is from Scholar's Lore. Oh. We'll see how this is.
Far in the eastern fringe of our galaxy, there lies a rather small but remarkably advanced spacefaring civilization known as the Tau Empire. Their existence only became known to the Imperium after a Mechanicus exploratory fleet passed by their homeworld in the 35th millennium. Initially, the Tau were observed as
is this
groups of
AI art?
scattered
I saw
Stone
the
Age
start of
tribes
this, but
who had only recently mastered the power of fire. The fleet quickly identified their home planet as
looks like
being a
AI
potential
art.
candidate for imperial colonization. However, before any military actions could be taken to clear the Tau world of its inhabitants, a violent warp storm erupted amidst the star system, making the planet utterly inaccessible to
How does a
meddlesome
warp storm happen?
outsiders.
Isn't that related to chaos? Doesn't a warp storm only happen when there's like chaos stuff involved? That's what I wonder. Because, like, I didn't, what was it? Commander Farsight. He has like a demon sword, right? Oh, the warp is more than just chaos. Okay. They are the primary residents. Oh, they just live in the warp. So the warp is just a realm of magic or something? Right, the booklet. Give or take.
During this period, the Tau underwent an unusually rapid advancement of their technological understanding. Over the next 1,000 years, sprawling cities were constructed across the planet, and the young Tau had begun to use black powder weaponry to defend themselves.
So, the problem with AI art is I don't know if this is like real art from Tau history or just something that like, oh, could you come up with a like sci-fi but medieval like city or something, but and it just so I don't know if it's like canon or not. I mean, I guess that's already like a fairly nebulous concept anyway. I use a table mat, a mouse pad. I'm never sure there's no early Tau art.
Unfortunately, however, this heralded a turbulent era of intertribal warfare, where
This is
thousands
just
of
June,
Tau
isn't it?
perished in the terrible conflicts, and many times more were felled by pestilent plagues which swept their lands. Amidst this tumultuous period...
Pause. We need to... We need to look at which of these suits I have to build. Commander in Cold Star battlesuit? Or Commander in Enforcer battlesuit? And then we've got the drones. God, they've got so many of these drones, dude. Holy moly. Every unit has a drone attached to it. Which suit looks cooler? Something on his ankle there. That's interesting. See. This one. Can't quite tell what's on his back, but... The one with the minigun is cooler, right? The blue one is cooler, right? Are you building one of my brothers? Yes, well, kind of. It's not an android. It is a battle suit. Cold Star, Best Star. I kind of like the blue one the best out of these. Although this one does have 2 guns, but I guess I mean, I could just glue another gun on this one, right? That's quite... I think I'll go for the blue one. You like the green one? Well, you're a Tyranid sympathizer, so how can I trust you? You just want to eat the fish people. Why are they called fish people? Because they're blue? I don't quite... I guess we need to continue the lore video. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, sorry, look at this one. It's a Gundam. I can't believe... So, I can't remember exactly how much these guys were, but I think they're like 40 bucks. Well, for 3 of them. But this one was 20. It's just a shame they're so expensive to import, the Gundams. Such a pleasure to make. Maybe look at the codex since they're different guns. I don't have the codex. I just think they look cool. So I guess I'll just build the one that looks cooler. That's a Transformers action figure. Dude, that's a Gundam. My god. That's not, it doesn't transform. It's not as good as a Transformer. But it is cooler. Alright. What have we got? Bits and bobs. Only 2 sheets? Really? That's surprisingly little. I guess there's only one guy to make them. Gonna need 12 and 11. Guess we can continue the lore video.
The mysterious ethereals first revealed themselves. Legends tell of the violent siege of the fortress city of Phaeton, which was assaulted by the consorted tribal Tau from both the expansive plains and the tall mountainous regions. The defenders had already sought out an amicable discourse with the attackers, but the fearsome tribal warriors could not be bargained with, and they sought only the destruction of Phaeton. But it was here, as the strong city walls began to falter, the 2 enigmatic Tau appeared. One departed to the plains, where his quiet authority wrangled the tribal warriors into an agreement that perhaps a peaceful parley would be most beneficial to them. The other peacefully entered the great fortress city, and within but a short few hours, he had convinced the Tau leadership to drop their gates and to hear out the peace call from the tribal warriors. With the groups together, the ethereals then recited the importance of maintaining peace and understanding between all Tau. This was the first time the concept of the greater good was introduced, and it was happily accepted by the rather worn-down tribesmen, for this period of their history had been most harrowing and most exhausting to them.
Is the greater good just peace?
Across the entire world, ethereals emerged in similar mysterious means, where they would speak of peace, harmony, and...
Can you hear it, by the way? Turn it up. Is the greater good just peace? Is that the greater good? Because they appear to be doing quite a lot of war. Right, now I have to cut off the nubs and the mold lines. I'm not good at this. It's a lot of things that they keep adding to when it suits the narrative. It's the rules of acquisition, I see. What Star Trek? Crepe those mold lines, good tree. Oh, I should add, by the way, all of this is courtesy to Quinn, who has kindly gifted me the towel. Because I thought they would. I'm not sure if it's in focus. I should probably get this preview on my screen so I can see whether I should. Focus better. I guess this is usually the most tedious work, but I just wanted to start on stream anyways. I've got the preview on screen, but not chat. Yeah.
Cooperation between all. In but a short few years, the entire world had been united under the banner of the greater good, and the days of bickering tribal conflicts were over, replaced instead by the glory of the new Tau Empire. The uncanny ability of the ethereals to influence and lead the other Tau has not gone entirely unnoticed, and some would suspect some degree of psychic control being at play here.
Are they like,
although this has never been proven by imperial
Are they like
agents.
Mikula
As the
the
raging
Kind?
warp storm flickered out of existence, the young Tau
Materials?
were poised to set their gaze upon the stars,
We've got
which could be
any-
a blank canvas for their new
any Elden
conquests
Ring players
and
in the
expansion
audience?
plans. Over the next
I
1,000
understand.
blank
Why
canvas
is it so quiet for me? Is this video just really quiet?
for their new conquests and expansion plans. Over the next 1,000 years, the fledgling Tau Empire continued with its unprecedented technological growth, where they achieved spaceflight and also significantly advanced their military capabilities. With this came the first of the expansion spheres, which were huge coordinated military and colonization efforts taken against nearby worlds to spread the presence of the Tau Empire. During this first phase, 7 star systems were colonized, which were each named as septs to the Tau. Each sept has a unique cultural identity which is oftentimes rather distinct from one another, but they still all contribute their efforts towards serving the greater Tau Empire.
So the septs are all different, like, systems? Is that what he said? I know the septs are like color schemes, like chapters and Space Marines and stuff. Also, where's 11? Ah, 11. I can see myself cutting my fingers several times while building that. Oh yes. Oh yes. It can happen. But fortunately, you're made of steel, right? I just control a corpse that I found nearby. I wouldn't want to actually hurt my my precious twigs. What? Oh no. Still in it? Oh. It's a patience hobby, go at your own pace. It is. Also, hello Gary. Literally just the people from Avatar. What kind of dog is that? And why did the tracking? That corpse looks good. Well, I don't know about that. Like... It's only rotting. It's slowly rotting. It was some kind of lumberjack, I guess, that I had to kill. And the tracking will hopefully return in a bit. Oh, there we go. And hello, LG. It's a patience hobby. It is, yes. I mean, it's also... I'm looking forward to the painting as well. Even though I only have like 2 paints that I need for this at the moment.
As one of the key teachings of the Tao philosophy of the greater good is that alien worlds must be brought under the fold of the Empire peacefully, and that its inhabitants must willingly choose to serve the greater good alongside the Tao themselves.
Oh, they have to vote
As
for it?
such, when the Tao first encountered their alien neighbors during the first expansion sphere program, they began to incorporate several alien species into their empire. This was not always a smooth integration, however. The first species to fall under the fold of the Tao was known as the Poktroon, and whilst they did peacefully join with their newfound compatriots, the entire population was wiped out by a wave of disease, to which the Tao themselves were immune to, so they simply inherited the Poktroon home planet.
Wait, they did in America?
The Sept of Borkan.
Did they give them like diseased blankets accidentally or something?
Despite some aliens being peaceful and amicable to hearing of the greater good, there are still some who would refuse, or those who would become hostile and violent upon seeing the Tao approach. In these cases, the Firecast will be swiftly dispatched to eliminate them as a threat, for none can continue in their ignorance if it would hamper the expansion of the Tao.
You can't trust the orcs.
This fall to violence is what occurred when the Tao first encountered the orcs.
Wait, you say for sure on purpose, but they had voted to join, didn't they? The weird tentacled giraffes. Also, they announced a new Tao novel. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I did try to, like, I watched a video earlier, like basically a primer, that just also went into, like, oh, the benefits of playing Tau on the tabletop, which I don't care about. It's like, yeah, okay, they do shooting. Okay, got it. But I was mostly interested in, like what's, like, because there have been some big changes in the lore recently, right? And I was more interested in, like, what has the Tau done recently, other than, like, the primer of the race. I guess this is a primer, but it seems to be going in more depth.
Though the Greenskins were offered amnesty and diplomatic missions were attempted with the local war bosses, the Watercast diplomats soon realized that this was a mission of futility. As such, the Aircast initiated a campaign of orbital bombardment upon the Orc worlds, decimating them as a threat to the Tau.
They don't have faster than light travel? How the hell did they get to the other planets then? Like, in their own system? Or, like, I guess, the other systems in their own... They just sail very slowly. I mean, quickly enough to have done it in the past. Like, I don't know. They're a very young empire, right? And they fought against the Imperial after they first got lost. Or rather, after that warp storm, when they were very young. They did encounter them again. At least they did in Dawn of War. Okay, I've got 2 bits. This is gonna go very slowly. It is slid in. Boink, boink. Guess this is gonna be a joint, a knee joint. Oh yeah, it's gonna be their leg. $13 and $17.
Perhaps the most successful alien integration would be that of the Kroot. In the waning days of the first expansion sphere, a Tau fleet picked up scans of an Orc armada firing upon an unknown alien species. And knowing of the sheer brutality of the Orcs, the Tau were drawn in to intervene on behalf of the alien victims. Fighting side by side
they went
with
to
the
help
Kroot,
them.
the 2 armies slaughtered the Orc menace. And after displaying such tenacity and such bravery in battle, the Tau agreed to assist the Kroot in liberating their homeworld of Pek from the rampant greenskins. Thus began a protracted military campaign, whereby Pek was wiped clean of its Orc plague. In recognition for their monumental efforts in saving their homeworld, the Kroot leaders pledged their people to the Tau and to the greater good.
They're
And
great,
this
they're
alliance
good.
has strongly stood to this very day.
They're
This
great, they're
phase of the
good.
Tau expansion sphere only slowed because of logistical issues found with maintaining their new colonies. The young empire had not yet mastered faster than light travel,
Oh,
and
there you
so
go.
sending communications and aid between their worlds proved to be too great of a challenge for the Tau.
Oh,
The
poor
second
scrubs.
sphere expansion came with the invention of the ZFR Horizon accelerator engine, which would enable their starships to travel close to light speed, allowing the Tau to resume their previous colonization efforts. The supreme ethereal Aunwei declared the new phase of
Aunwei.
expansion ready, and the campaign was launched from each of the previously founded septs. During this phase, the Firecast first deployed their experimental and prototype battlesuits upon the field.
Let's go, battlesuits!
Military strategy, thanks to their incredibly advanced capabilities. This phase was also where the famed and legendary Commander Puretide rose to prominence.
Puretide.
He led a successful military campaign across dozens of Orc worlds, where his masterful tactical acumen proved pivotal in banishing the Orc menace.
He's dead, isn't he?
He was so successful in his strategy that the methods and tactics he used during this campaign are still taught to Firecast initiates to this very day. The flying insectoid Vespid species was also brought under the fold of the greater good after a group of ethereals produced a mysterious translation and communication helm to the skittering aliens. This phase of expansion
Communication
had
helmet.
resulted in the Tau colonizing dozens of new worlds and establishing new septs across their region of space. But unfortunately, this was soon to come to a screeching halt.
Uh-oh.
The Tau had crossed over the Damocles Gulf, which brought them into their first contact with the Imperium of Man. This heralded a series of wars of such an unprecedented scale that it seemed possible that the Tau would be entirely wiped out from the galactic scene. Additionally,
Damocles, that's the blade, right? The sword of Damocles hanging over one's head. But the rule. Does it have any other meaning specifically? Damocles? I know it's a king, but or was it? It also means the Empyrean stomping on the Tau spine. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's listen in.
It was during this time that the Tau first encountered the extragalactic threat of the Tyranids, as Hive Fleet Gorgon had penetrated their realm.
Wait.
It was during this period that the renegade Commander Farsight took his first steps in forming a breakaway colony from the greater Tau Empire. He was ordered by the Ethereals to take an expedition of Tau forces through the Damocles Gulf to reclaim several worlds which had been conquered by the Imperial Crusaders, to which he successfully accomplished. Despite his victory,
he hit them back.
The Tau would soon face off against a harrowing series of events, which would ultimately prove to be too much for the commander to bear. Farsight encountered a gargantuan orc fleet, which was poised to devastate the newly reconquered Tau worlds. However, he was ordered by the Ethereals to pull back and continue with his mission. Farsight, however, disobeyed this command and instructed his forces to engage with the Orc Armada. Despite being successful here, the Orc fleets had still launched colossal asteroid showers onto the Tau worlds, resulting in the deaths of millions. After several years of defending against the Greenskins, Farsight was soon to be plagued by yet another calamity. His forces were preyed upon by demons who ripped their way into reality before falling onto the battered Tau. In a state of horror, the commander ordered a full retreat, but as they pulled back, he saw through a portal which showed him trillions dying across the galaxy and an unmatched level of torment which would soon befall the Tau. Following the retreat of
Farsight is not having a good time, eh? Also, WoW added a Brutosaur to the cash shop for 78 euros. Just a different skin. Oh my goodness, that's expensive. Oh. Dreadnoughts rolling over my desk. Of course it did. They could never keep that mount exclusive. It's just kind of stupid. I mean, I guess it... I mean, once they added it for the first time, it becomes like a thing where it's like... You can't keep the power of it locked away. This is probably cheaper than it is on the black market auction house. So this is how do you do this as a Warhammer builder? I'm supposed to, like, okay, these are supposed to attach. This is like his leg. But I have to glue this. But how do I know, like, in what pose that should be? Like, that's further down the line, surely. I don't know what angle he has to stand at. Or actually, I guess this leg can only stand it. I guess it doesn't. Right, so I didn't know Ravel came in such tiny little glue things. I thought the other one, the one I knew, was like the size I knew. I didn't know they were this small. Anyway, crack this bad boy open. How the hell did I get the needle stuck in here? What? How did that? Oh god. Look at that. It's stuck in here. the hell? Did it already leak glue? That's weird. Right. Can't even tell if glue is coming out. Oh, there we go. Point. Leg. So normally I do feet last because, like you said, it's hard to know the position of. You're attaching the feet to the base. The position of the legs doesn't matter so much. Feet can move to make it stand steady. Yeah. So you're saying I should not have done this? This is the commander. Yes. I don't know if there's there was like a little hole, like there was a little nub. I think you can do him flying. I guess there's this You think I should make him flying? I don't know. I don't usually like flying things with well, I guess I'll have to because there are a lot of drones. But anyway, I guess we do 1A, 1B. That means just the other side. Oh no, this is the flying leg. Guessing. No? It just... Oh no, wait, these are just both legs. Okay. Anyway, let's continue listening in on Commander Farsight.
Forces, Farsight planned out his counterattack, but this was all brought to an end when a second demonic outbreak occurred, which resulted in the deaths of the ruling ethereals over his expedition. This pushed the Tau into a state of hysteria, but through his immense presence and reverence, Farsight regrouped his army and drove the demonic entities back into the warp. At this point, the commander was ordered to return to the Tau Empire for questioning by the ruling ethereal caste. But harrowing events which had transpired here had planted a seed of doubt in Farsight's mind. He suspected that the ethereals knew of the horrifying entities and that they had withheld the information from his people. As a result of this, he disobeyed the ethereal's order and led the remaining Tau under his command to establish the Farsight enclaves as a separate colony away from the Empire, which would be free from the manipulative and mysterious ethereals. After a period of consolidation and fortification...
So the ethereals are also... Tau, right? They're not like a different species? They put hints to both ways. But they are blue boys, right? Is there ethereal unit? Or are they just like the ruling class that never show up on the battlefield? I guess the only ones that... There is units, okay. It's like everything is just out of range of the camera, isn't it? If they die, it's bad news bear for your entire army. Oh, are they like... Wait, wasn't there another... Didn't the Necrons also have something like that? Their leader just... if their leader dies, like half their armor collapses or something? Like vampire count kind of thing? And so there was a warp storm that made the Imperium leave the nascent Tau Empire. And then afterwards, the Ethereal showed up and united the Tau. And Commander Farsight expects that the Ethereals knew about Chaos. So, thus. When did, wait, Tzeentch already existed, right? Slanesh was the one that was born because of the Eldar, right? So it can, yeah, no, that's the sexy one.
The Tau found themselves involved
play.
in a conflict known as the Great War of Confederation. This prolonged war was the result of several Orc wars uniting to assault the new-formed worlds of the Tau Empire. And if this was not appropriately handled, there was a real chance that the Tau would be swept up and decimated by the Orcs. Thankfully, every sept of the Empire gathered their forces, and in a combined military operation, they effectively defended their own worlds, and then launched a campaign of progressive scarring to eliminate any remaining taint of the Orcs. It was during this time that the fabled Commander Shadowsun was first deployed to lead over the Tau armies, and she quickly displayed her keen tactical mind as well as her clear leadership qualities. After years of bloody fighting, the Orc forces were utterly driven from the Tau space, and the highly militarized state of the Tau Empire prompted the Ethereals to declare that a third expansion sphere should begin with haste. Headed by the
we've got all these soldiers lying around. Might as well.
The Tau
might as well go fight some wars, right? I mean, expand. The warp is completely timeless, but its Slanesh always exists. Oh, complicated. Chicken and egg.
Continued past the Damocles Gulf, entering Imperial space, where they sought to reclaim worlds which had been previously lost to them, as well as to conquer a large enough swathe of space that they would be able to effectively defend themselves from future Imperial counterattacks. Some of the first Imperial worlds they encountered did surrender to the Tau Armada and welcomed the Watercast diplomats' efforts towards cooperation. These humans were integrated into Tau society, where they rejected the uncaring nature of the Imperial cult and chose instead to support the efforts of the greater good.
The greater good.
The majority of Imperial worlds, however, rejected the message of the Tau, but their colonies were almost always ill-prepared to defend against the battle-hardened Tau, leading to their untimely demise. During this phase, the mighty Riptide battlesuit was first unleashed.
Ooh, Riptide.
And it proved pivotal in annihilating
really
Imperial
right?
heavy armor across the battlefields of the Gulf. The combined arms and tactical skills of the commanding forces ultimately led to a Tau victory in their invasion of a hive world known as Agrellan, to which they renamed as Mugulath Bay. This world was poised in a critical location which would allow the Tau to expand further into Imperial space. But it was at this point that the Imperium had mustered up an offensive crusade force, and a fleet of space marines was deployed to reclaim the territories which had been lost to the Tau.
Space Marines. So they've just been bickering back and forth over a couple of planets. Also, do they like take enemy tech as well? Suffer not the alien to live. What if they've got really cool robots? How or the Imperium? Well, the Imperium doesn't even know how their own tech works. So I do mean the Tau. Like, do they like, oh, that's a cool, like, oh, yeah, that's a cool idea. Let's have bolters as well. Tau with bolters, let's go. What if we have rocket-propelled bullets? They take other tech, try and figure it out. Ah. Clever lad. Okay. $16. There's an argument to be made there. Plasma tech is superior to Imperial, and plasma is better than Bolton. I saw that in the other video. They talked about it, that the Tau, I guess just the Firecast, just their normal shooty guys, they've got the best role in the game for actually attack compared to the Bolter. I guess what was it? They hit on a 5 or something, and the bolters hits on a 4, something like that. I don't know the details. More stable but less punchy. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. They've got like energy weapons, right? Bolter is just, it's literally just shooting fucking grenades as bullets. Plastic. Or actually, I'm really good at cutting into plastic. But not in a good way. Imperial plasma can just explode in the Marine's hands and kill him. Man, if a Marine dies from a malfunctioning weapon, how many people do they execute? As a... Or for treason for killing a Space Marine.
Commander Shadow Sun effectively countered these forces by drawing them into diversions before striking deeper into Imperial territory, allowing her to claim dozens more worlds for the Tau Empire. After much conflict, however, the Imperial forces subjected Agrellan to exterminatus, preferring the Tau rule over a dead world than to truly give up control over it. With this, the third sphere expansion period ground to a halt. The sheer volume of Imperial forces opposing the Tau was proving to be too great of an obstacle to overcome, leading to a stalemate across the borders of Tau space. Unfortunately for the Tau, the key to their expansion was to move through Imperial space. Looking to their galactic east, the Tau were faced with an ocean of dead worlds, with the threat of the Tyranid Hive Fleet Gorgon fast approaching them. And to the west, the Necron dynasty Sautek reigned supreme. Their problematic situation was further worsened by the formation of the Great Rift, which forced the ethereal caste to enact a drastic measure. They chose to deploy the experimental AL-38 slipstream module, which was designed and formulated
this is also
by the Earth caste after studying Imperial warp drives and Geller fields. The fourth sphere was prepared. With the fleets
what's a
ready
Geller
for
field? A Geller field? Is that like a warp bubble or something? Could you explain to me in Star Trek terms? Geller. It sounds a bit like it. It sounds awfully scientific. Can't be Imperial. Geller field is how humans go through the warp. They seal a pocket of reality around their ship and go into the warp. The reality acts as a shield. Because generally demons can't just go into reality without some means to summon them. Oh. So, is the Geller field made by... It's not done by the Emperor, right? But the Emperor is required for warp travel? I know he had something to do. The Emperor. Space Marines. Battle Brothers. Right. Five and 4. He's required for safe navigation theory. The glorified lighthouse can always see his light in the warp, and hence always know where Earth is. He can figure out the rest from there. Oh, he's like the North Star.
Travel, the Ethereals declared that the expansion should begin. So the Firecast armies were assembled under the leadership of Commander Sure Strike. Unfortunately for the Tau, disaster struck when this new technology ripped a tear in real space, consuming the entire fleet and condemning their fates to the warp.
Oh, whoopsie daisies.
This catastrophe was such a disaster that the Ethereals sought to contain any knowledge of this event and to prevent it from ever being known to the citizens of the Empire.
Oh my god, so it's like, what are the guys, like, in, Chernobyl, and we must contain the information. What does the old guy say again in Chernobyl? It's like, what do they call it? Panic? No, not panic. Must contain area? I can't remember exactly what it is. Like, cut the phone line. Stop the spread of misinformation.
While stuck in the nightmarish dimension of the warp, demons ripped through the Tau ships, ultimately killing around 3/4 of the Tau and crippling any potential this armada once held. Despite this, not all the Tau were killed in this hellish realm. Some were saved by the emergence of a many-armed entity, who some believed to be a manifestation of an ancient Tau goddess, who personified the guiding principles and teachings of their species.
Oh my god, it's
Years after disappearing
or something,
into
isn't
that
it?
fiery hellscape, a contingent of this fleet emerged from the warp deep within Imperial space, and these survivors managed to form a small enclave known as the Nemyar Atoll. The wormhole through which they traveled has been named as the Star-Tide Nexus, and it has become an invaluable transportation route for the Tau to circumvent the more strongly defended regions of Imperial space. Do be warned, however, as
They thought... I think that belief is what makes things in the warp. There's a minor warp god now that's basically the greater good given form. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. So it's not an evil god. Also, is this guy smoking a blunt? Oh, it doesn't show on the screen. The greater good.
the Tau survivors of this calamity now have a dark reputation of brutality and an uncharacteristic hatred for other alien species.
Huh.
There are many hushed
Okay, so they
rumors
didn't
about
come out
these
very
Tau,
well.
with some claiming that they brutally executed their own compatriots aboard the fleet, and that they seek to purge the Tau Empire of its alien members. After recovering from this calamity, the Tau have reformed and launched their 5th expansion sphere, where they are using the newly created Star-Tide Nexus wormhole to shuttle forces into the Nemyar Atoll and launch a new offensive against Imperial space. Commander Shadow Sun is leading this armada.
Oh, she's still
However,
alive.
its advance has been slowed by the simultaneous attacks of both the Death Guard and the scattered tendrils of the Tyrannid Hive fleets. Survivors of the 4th sphere were incorporated into this expansion. However, after they were seen to massacre human survivors and intentionally sacrifice alien auxiliary forces, Shadow Sun and the Ethereals declared that they were to be returned to Tau space for punishment and re-assimilation. Despite these problematic elements within their armies, the expansion sphere has made significant progress in its advancement. Many more planets have been colonized by the Tau, ever expanding their star-spanning empire. And with the expansion sphere in full swing, we can only speculate as to how far the Firecast will take them. Even with the ongoing success of the 5th expansion, a 6th sphere is already being planned, with Ethereals gathering to decide if a fleet should continue through the Star-Tide Nexus or to launch a new offensive across the Damocles Gulf. Ultimately, the young and enigmatic Tau are at the doorstep of their galactic future. With their fledgling empire gaining significant traction across the eastern fringe, we must wonder to what efforts the Tau will go to spread the word of the greater good. And only the future may tell us of how large their empire may truly grow to.
Hey, we got a crotch. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. So they accidentally went into the warp. Well, they intended to go into the warp, but accidentally ate their entire fleet. And they were stuck in the warp, and then they found a warp goddess with 8 arms or something. that they believe that may be the greater good given form. But they came out and were turned into basically human imperial, like, oh, we gotta slaughter all the aliens brutally if we can. Psychopath. So maybe the warp goddess that they saw was actually the emperor. At least they gave them emperor ideas. Or maybe their belief is actually quite racist. That's quite possible. Anyway, we turn the page. Woo! Page 2, let's go. How long are we? It's in an hour and 10 minutes. Have we got any upbeat Tau music? This is... Oh god. Ooh, what about the Illumina theme for Helldivers 2? Not that the Illuminate are in Helldivers. They missed some things though, some of the cooler bits. Oh, if you've got another video. Yeah. Oh god, interchangeable part. What's yellow mean? Is that blue? Yes, that's blue. Is this the Illuminate team? This doesn't seem right. Maybe it is. Boom, 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 boom. Part 1. Oh, that's a big chunk. This isn't very nice music either. Too tense. Kind of music could we have? Dun, dun, dun. Wait, does Dawn of War have music? Dawn of War Tau. Dawn of War Tau theme. Go. Okay, now we get the other big chest out. Let's see if we can get some more lights on. I return. Alright. Do have some more lights on, but might be some flickering now. Dun. Bow. Bow, bow, bow. Oh god. Oh, here. New Chaos Goddess, Tauva.
Today, we will talk about Tauva, the Tau god born from the collective consciousness of those who believe in the greater good, a young but already very powerful deity. Take out your tablets and get ready to take notes on our lecture about Tauva. The goddess Tauva embodies the concept of the greater good, which translates into the Tau language literally as Tauva and sounds. This all-encompassing ideology is the principle of Tau society, which is based on a caste system and the collective advancement of all who are part of Tau society towards a brighter future. The idea of the greater good is the goal and meaning of life for all races in the Empire. The doctrine of the greater good is that there is a certain correct position of things in the universe which is best suited for its inhabitants, and that there should be no nonsense around it. Everyone should strive to achieve this position of things to the maximum. Friendship and cooperation are fundamental, the theme of the greater good. It was the greater good that helped unite the warring Tau in the dawn of their civilization. From ancient times, Tau first offer new Xenos civilizations to accept the greater good, and only then do they destroy them. And the civilizations of these empires are numerous, say the Demiurgs, the dog-like Torellians, the frog-like Galgs, Nicassars, Geatrix, and of course humans. As you know, the Tau race itself is not psychoactive, or rather it has very little psychoactivity. Their souls hardly reflect in the warp and are of little importance to most demons. So how did the goddess Tauver appear at all? If the Tau are not psychoactive, you might ask. Everything is very simple. In the Empire, there are many races that are very psychoactive and understand the greater good in their own way. The same people, or Gervesa, brought up in the classics of the Imperium and nurtured with faith in the Emperor God, consider the greater good as some kind of deity, and their psychoactivity makes it real. And the other races of the Empire join them. And now the Tau already have their own Chaos God in the army which protects them. What Tauver looks like? Her body resembles a human, and Tau with a large number of arms, which have different shapes. Some of them hold blades, some have huge claws like Kroots. On others there are needles, shells, shields, balls of flickering light. And all of them embody some race in the Empire. The goddess's face is devoid of features and resembles pale flesh. Perhaps because Tauver has not yet fully formed, it's not very clear how Tauver came to be. But her earliest appearance happened back in her youth. Commander Shadowsun, also known as Shas-O-Shasera, showed signs of greatness even in her childhood, while still training at the Firecast Academy. She was recognized as one of the most capable strategists, and she was noticed by the legendary Commander Puritide, who observed her at a very young age. Shadowsun became his youngest protege. She excelled in all trials, but during one of the training sessions, Puritide instructed her to find a stone he had placed in an underground labyrinth beneath Mount Kanzi on the Dalith Sept. The trial had a twist. Water began to flood the labyrinth during the search for the stone. This happened before Shadowsun could find the stone. Puritide was to blame for everything, setting up such deadly traps for his students to test whether she could escape the labyrinth. And you know, Shadowsun didn't make it. She lost her bearings and began to lose consciousness as she started to drown. At that moment, described incidentally in the new book about Shadowsun, Tauver came to her deep beneath Mount Kanzi. Water filled her lungs, causing her to lose consciousness. She felt like a raindrop falling into the mouth of a giant, invisible crocodile. Each surge was deadly, and each turn was a blow, wrenching her soul from her, disorienting her and making her freeze in fear. She struck something sharp, cutting her skin. Around her, a thick ink-like cloud of blood swirled in the dark water. Moments later, her last illusions of hope were swept away by the unrestrained force of the flood. Her fingers went completely numb and lost sensation. The caves were overflowing. The anger of the melting river reached its climax. There was no help to wait for. There would be no reprieve. Darkness came after her, but within it there was light. Semi-transparent figures with unnaturally large numbers of arms, impervious to the blows of icy water, drifted as calmly as a Dalithian jellyfish. The creature had an entire arsenal of weapons, blades, armors, and shields. It floated very close, its empty mask of a face somehow held inches from hers, although the deadly river constantly pushed her through the darkness. "No, what are you?" Her thoughts were so loud that she could swear she heard them. The creature lifted an amphora, from the mouth of which silver bubbles flowed, and brought it to her lips. Not water, but air, graceful, life-giving. Greedily, like a newborn baby, she filled her lungs. "I am everything," said the entity. Its voice was soothingly reminiscent of a mother's voice, yet carried a hint of threat. "I am fate. You're a ghost," Shadowsun replied. "Just a ghost. Compared to the cosmos, I am nothing. That is true," the apparition replied, "although even a seed cast upon the wind can sprout if you allow the children of hope." They passed through the dark expanse of non-existence. Moments later, the water became calmer. She could see the glow of cave worms again. Their flickering illuminated the ethereal spirit hovering before her. "How can I repay you?" she asked. "I just want to exist, child," the entity replied. Shadowsun's head broke the surface of the underwater river, and at that moment the creature vanished. Tauver saved Shadowsun in her youth by giving her an oxygen amphora, and she remembered that all her life. But later, of course, she forgot, especially by the beginning of the fifth sphere of expansion. Tau has this thing. They put their coolest commanders into stasis and bring them out when they are most needed by the Empire. And Tau also have so-called spheres of expansion, when the Empire gathers a ton of ships and troops. With each sphere of expansion, strange events periodically occur. But the fourth sphere of expansion broke all records. It was originally organized when the Earth-caste scientist Kabuto combined the engines of battle spheres with those of Kroot vessels and ships of the Imperium, ultimately creating Module AL-38, known as the Streamlined Flow. It was an experimental device based on Imperial transportation technology. When the module was installed on a ship, it created a bubble of antimatter and propelled it at a speed capable of piercing the fabric of reality. The initial tests were successful, allowing ships to traverse the entire Tau Empire in a matter of days instead of months, as it had been before. As a result, orders were given to create as many of these modules as possible and install them on the huge fleet of the fourth sphere. One might think someone would notice, "Guys, we've never tested so many engines simultaneously before. Maybe we should avoid this." But the Tau Empire didn't care. They were determined in the year 999 of the 41st millennium, a massive Tau fleet assembled to begin the fourth spherical expansion. And what happened? All the ships of the fleet simultaneously launched AL-38 modules, creating numerous rifts in reality that opened a huge wound.
But does this
And
also
the
happen
ships
to
entered the warp.
do Imperial ships not do that? They're like, oh guys, we shouldn't all go into warp at the same time. It'll blow up. Do they like stagger their launches or like have massive distance between them? Like, did they learn their lesson before? It's like the Tau had not yet done that. Was it a freak event?
But along the way, they were attacked by terrifying demons of all kinds and began to destroy the ships. The Tau Empire decided it was a disaster and promptly forgot about them. However, the surviving Tau was saved by the Imperium known as...
Did they... I mean, I know it's just a robot voice reading it, but it's so stupid. Especially when there's typos.
However, the surviving Tau was saved by a warp entity, multi-armed and blue, which ejected them onto the territory of the Imperium known as Chalnath, establishing a connection with the rift of the Tau Empire. This breach came to be known as the Startide Nexus. After these events, Module AL-38 was removed from the ships and dismantled, but the Earth-caste continued to improve the device to reinstall it on Tau ships in the future. Commander Surestrike didn't understand where they had been thrown out of the warp. It turned out to be the Chalnath system. They began to colonize the nearest worlds, turning them into real fortresses. And after 10 years, the Tau decided to send a drone into the breach of the Startide Nexus. And it turned out that some Tau survived on the other side. Here, they organized the fifth sphere of expansion under Shadowsun's leadership. The fleet was divided into 8 mini-fleets and sent to Chalnath. By the way, the ships also used AL-38 modules, but they were significantly modified. Upon reaching the survivors at Nemyar Atoll and docking with the massive arcology, Shadowsun met with the commander, Surestrike, and was simply stunned by what...
Do you play Warhammer yourself? I have never played Warhammer. Well, no, that's not entirely true. I played it like once or twice. But the game itself, I tried it like once, but I'm mostly interested in the models and stuff. I played Kill Team, yeah. But also I only played Kill Team a handful of times as well. I didn't really like it, honestly. I think it'd be a lot better with proper terrain and not... Because in the starter box for Kill Team, it's like all the terrain that is in it like doesn't count as blocking line of sight. So it was just shooting each other from, I don't know, it's like for all the effort that went into making those things, it didn't feel very fun to play. I don't know. I feel like it needs the more interesting terrain. To actually like to make you feel like it's not just, oh, my guys, I rolled dice, my dice were better, you die. It's like, okay, well, should I have put them somewhere else? Well, it doesn't matter because everyone can see everywhere. So it's like, what's your favorite faction so far? Ooh, difficult. I mean, look-wise, I really like the Tau right now, which is why I'm building them. I just really like this kind of Star Warsy, blocky design of these guys. Super cool. But I mean, there's a lot of cool stories and factions and things. I used to have Space Marines because when I first went into the store, or when I first found out about Warhammer 40k, which was with Dawn of War, the original Dawn of War, like, yeah, someone was playing Space Marines and like, oh, those guys are cool. So I went to a store and then I got some Space Marines and they were like, oh yeah, here you paint some yourself. And I got to pick a color scheme, and naturally I picked the best color scheme, which was yellow, which is a hell to paint. But Imperial Fists were the first ones. But with how many Space Marines there are, eventually I kind of got more interested in the other factions because I like the underdogs more. Your paints look really impressive. Wow. Well, that's why I pulled up this one, because this one is the best one I did. This is more my usual kind of blotchy ass yellow that I did. Which not good. This was the first model I did. The Dreadnoughts I liked as well because they're blocky walkie tank. Like them. But I did hand paint. I did like hand painting the emblems. I think this fist is mirrored. I think it's the wrong way around. Let's see. Where's my commander? This blade probably fell off, but. And then I also really like the AdMax. AdMax are also really cool. I don't have them here. They're like in a play case. God, my commander is currently stabbing my flamethrower guy. He's stuck. He's stuck pretty. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I should hold them more. Actually, I should hide this video. I think I wrote a name on the gun even, but I don't think camera will be able to pick that up. Should say RAR. But yeah. Very good, thank you. But I did these like a decade ago, so I'm not so confident anymore. Oh god. Like these are wait, what are the old Space Marines called? Because they've got Primaris now, right? And painting all the fists. Firstborn, right? I still have these Terminators that I never finished. Firstborn Terminators, I suppose. still have this whirlwind that I never finished. I'm not so a Space Marine guy. No, I've kind of fallen off the Space Marines as well. It's just a shame I never finished them. But Eldari are cool. Didn't they add a new alien faction? But they're the dwarf guys. Otun. You can sell that, I guess. It's still in use, and this kit is the exact same as the one now. Oh, the stupid rhino frame. It's just a box. The Votan, yeah. But to be honest, the main thing I like about all the Warhammer models, the Warhammer 40k models, I should say, is the machinery, which is why I'm like into the Tau. But I also looked and I saw that the Necrons had really cool, like matrixy kind of monsters as well. Oh, and I really like the AdMech, the ATST, the walkers, the chicken walkers, and the horses. I like the robot horses. I just like the robots. I like the what are the really big guys from the Eldar called? They're like they're Gundam. Well, not Gundams. They're more like Evas. Wraiths, yeah, like Evangelion kind of robots. They're cool as well. Anyway, what kind of upbeat kind of but fittingly Tau music could I play? Hmm. Feel like Star Wars probably gonna get knocked down. Brother, I am Pinder. Tell yourself. Shouldn't have sold my Raid Knight. I feel like Eldari a bit again. Oh. But you had a Raid Knight, Quinn? Bold brothers. I mean, it's not long enough. It'll play for 2 minutes and then I need to find another one. Still too scared to paint it. Oh, I can imagine. They are... All these models are just heckin' expensive. That's the problem. I think it's easy for Quinn to say what you didn't have one. True. You need to get one of those limousines. One of the... Did I still have that? What was it? The limousines from the Gene Stealers? Gene Stealer cult limousine. It's so good. It's so dumb. I love it. Patriarch riding in style. You come here on the day of my sister's ascension, or my daughter's ascension. Where's the beard? No. Oh god, the beard. Why is there no beard? Oh, I know why. Because I accidentally hit live earlier. Hang on, I'll give it back. Here you go. Oh. Why did no one tell me? Oh, thank goodness. Right. Back to constructing. But hey, thank you for the follow, Darkmoor. You are a Robin. Woo! So Darkmoor, what you play Eldari or you paint Eldari? You collect Eldari. So do you play the game as well? Or do you specifically like just build them? Wait. I thought this was the no voice. Instrumental. I wish I enjoyed painting more. What do you mean? You've got like 1 trillion things. You showed me some hella detailed models. Like crazy. I'm jealous of you knowing how to paint and having like the, what's it called, the airspray. Seeing my army painted instead of grey. Yeah, that's oh. Dirge of Slanesh, just a storm. Okay. So, like, Eldari are kind of like... Ooh, thank you for the follow, Gary. Gary is Gary. That's a true Gary moment, right there. And you are a crow, Gary the Crow. You know, this is really weird, but... This is... So my grandfather was had a pet bird, a pet crow named Gary. I'm not even kidding. So now Gary is a crow on my channel. That's surprising. Gary was foreshadowed. Gary was reborn. Come again. Gary, come again. Having a pet crow sounds so cool. Yeah, like I didn't believe it almost, but apparently that was the case. And it wasn't even, it would just hang out. Like it wasn't like kept in a cage or something, but it would just keep hanging out. Until he got a name, and that was Gary. Well, the Dutch version of Gary. Which is Gary. It's basically the same. I need to cut out more bits. Did a grave mistake listening to it with full volume on. Oh my god. That's like the WOG ASMR. Orc WOG ASMR. It's just fucking carnage. Also, so Eldari are like elves, right? Kind of. Space elves. So, is there a Eldari wood elf kind of thing? As in, is there a faction for me as a tree? Also, I can't find this freaking number. 7 and 6? Where the frick are they? Ooh, this is 9. The Exodites. What are exodites? Are they plant-based? In theory, you could model with the use of lizard. Eldari with dinosaurs? What? Oh, but they are not models, they're just in lore? Oh, in theory, but not in minis. Oh, okay. So I assume there's more Tau allied armies as well, right? I know there was people that made like Imperial what are they called? Got a new name. The Astra Militarum, is that their name? But as Tau, because technically there are. But like I assume there's more aliens in the Tau Empire, right? Than the ones that there are models of. I guess just not on the worlds that they retake from the Imperium, because all the Xenos there would have been murdered. My friend built his Tau army kit bashed with Astra Militarum pieces. Ooh, that's cool. It's a shame I didn't grab them, but the AdMech I have that Quinn painted, they are like overgrown robots. They're like overgrown robots. Well, I guess they're not robots technically lore-wise, but yeah, like they're taken over by plants. Converted soldiers kind of type. That's cool. I remember that in once upon a time, the AdMech, after taking a Tau world, marched all the civilians into forges and burned them for fuel. Man, they are just nasty, aren't they? Like, even if the greater good isn't technically super good, it can be worse than the Imperium. Also getting better, I think. The greater good or the Imperium under the Emperor? Imperium under the Emperor wasn't so bad, wasn't it? I mean, I feel like it was pretty bad as well. Didn't he start a campaign to take over the universe, essentially? Like, wasn't killing Xenos already part of the plan? Wasn't that already their whole deal? Like, why did the Emperor go out into space to take over planets? Why did he do that? He wouldn't wipe them out unless they resisted. Okay, I thought that was already like part of the codex, like suffer not the Xenos to live. But that was... wanted to reconnect all the human worlds. But didn't he make the human worlds? Didn't he start the expansion? Humanity had an empire before, but warp shit stopped all FTL turtles, so humanity broke apart. Was that human empire not under the emperor? Was there another emperor before him? And I'm just sad that the Elder just screwed themselves up. They had everything perfect. They they made Slanesh, right, or something kind of. They just broke. They just got a bit too party happy. Yang banged the chaos god into being, as the memes go. They were too horny. Democratic and forward thinking. Right, oh, humanity. So, but would they, are you saying they might enlist people into the empire? Like if they wanted to? Are you saying that the emperor might have been like using like a concept of the greater good? Maybe. He predates the Tau. Yeah, he predates the Tau, but I'm saying that I could say the greater good is a concept of the Imperial Tooth. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if he is basically like keeping the warp open, could he have created a warp storm? Could he have perhaps, or could the Ethereals have glimpsed the idea from him? The idea that maybe, like, oh, like an image of the idea. I don't know what the Emperor thinks now. Does he have any thoughts? Or is he just a brick in a chair? Also, how the hell? Needle getting stuck. Also thought that the Emperor was the one to wrap the Tau home with warps from to protect it. So does the Emperor look on in horror what they've done in his name? Or does he go like, don't care, I'm beyond human, I'm a god. He'd be furious. Yeah, he would be, but is he? His son is already giga pissed. Yeah, but he got killed, right? You mean Horus, right? Or Engron. Rowboat girly man. He works together with the Tau, right? I mean, he was revived by the not the Tau, sorry, the Eldar, right? They got him back to life, right? His girlfriend is an Eldar. Wait, what? I mean, the memes say they're a couple. I mean, they can't procreate, can they? They're not even human. They're just slabs of concrete with 2 hearts. I sent you in Discord the best meme of them bringing it up. What is it? Okay. Happy Father's Day. Thanks, I guess. Wait, what? Highly sus. Highly sus. It's just the Emperor in the corner gets me. Isn't there someone you forgot to ask? I saw... hang on, can I find that one? So I learned recently about the Blood Ravens. Steal everything thing. I saw the Burial Goods video on it.
Slowly his thoughts arose from their centuries of slumber once more. Chemical stimulants pumped in through the tubes connected to a sarcophagus and washed away the residual grogginess of stasis sleep. The sound of servos activating, lifting his armored shell from its resting position into an upright stance, heralded the sudden explosion of light that filled his vision before clarifying into a familiar scene. Apothecaries and tech marines stood before him, data slates and tools in their hands, and one white-haired marine ahead of all the rest in the center of his field of view.
Print finished.
The decorations on his armor...
This one might be too long, actually. What did you 3D print? It's for my custom marine chapter. Oh my god. Wait, weren't you... Didn't you say you were done with marines? Weren't you gonna do something else? Also, what bits are you printing? Are like custom emblems or something? Posting the will to turn dark. Yeah. Let us see Paul Allen's car. I mean Paul Allen's elder. Oh my god. It even has a watermark. So did you actually play any of the new edition lore? Is there I mean, how long does an edition last? Is there already a new one? I don't know. I don't even really know what changes. I guess balance or something. And a handful of new models. And having to rebuy the codex all over again. Like a year ago with Warhammer 40k, I only played 10th edition. Oh. They're new! Nice. I host a league at work. Oh my god. Cool. Interchangeable parts. Guess I can build these here to be on the thing. Yeah. So we're gonna build 4. Cool. Build the backpack. They look a lot. They look kind of similar to these guys, but yeah, I guess he's gonna be a lot larger. Well, maybe not a lot harder. I don't know where to post prints. Yeah, art is fine. You're printing right now. So did you get these from elsewhere? These Greytide Studio. Oh. Make my own Marine chapter so that I can play as every single chapter. With the Blood Angels, unique units, Dark Angel, Space Wolf. Wait, so your chapter's just gonna be like an amalgamation of old chapters or something? But my lord, is that cool? You recently got a new printer, right, Laura? You had a different one before. In fact, even normal, a lot of chapters are listed unknown foundling. True, but to have the unique units of several different chapters, is that weird? Or is that also allowed? And there's still like unknown Primarchs, right? They kept open. Like there's like a couple of unknown Primarchs. I post my figures to the art chat? Yeah, that's cool. It's art. And otherwise I can rename the chat to art and craft. I don't know. Painted at Wendigo yourself? Yeah, I did. That was earlier this week. I was doing negative. I was drawing stuff in negative. Right. Yeah, so I painted, well, painted. I did this with charcoal. But like mirrored, or not mirrored, negative, which gets a really interesting effect. The charcoal texture is really nice. I can maybe I should do it again, but maybe with the pencil as well. It's a lot trickier with charcoal. Gives nice texture, but my god, getting a bunch of detail is difficult when you brush over it once accidentally and then it's all smudged. There's gotta be a cool lo-fi beats to terminate Xenos or something too, right? That probably exists. Like a imperial clerk. Hey, no. No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying I like it or I'll put it on. But I'm just saying it probably exists. Lo-fi Gregorian beats to praise the Emperor too. There you go. So, are orcs like in a specific part of the universe, or are they just? Do they just crop up somewhere? Do they just grow somewhere? Play the Mechanicus host, but is it chill? If it's gonna be action packed, or too atmospheric, it's gonna drive me nuts as well. My elder boys, ooh. They are everywhere like rats. Ooh, nice. So what are Eldar like like chapters or something called. Oh, there's like skeleton faces. Oh. Wait, does that leader have like a scythe on their gun? That's cool as fuck. Do they have like, are they like lances? Are they rocket launchers? What the hell do they have? Or do they shoot out of that? They look like RPGs or something, but they're holding them like machine guns. These are normal Eldari? Craft worlds. Oh, right, yeah. Maugan Ra. I know there's like a lot of Eldari lore, but I know so little about them. I know. I just know they have like yeah, they created the Slanesh. There's Dark Eldar. and they use warp ways. Teleport between places, I think. Gates. Good paint job too. Yeah, they look really cool. They look sick. Quinn had Dark Eldar, right? I think, or Corsairs? Wait, are those Dark Eldar? Is that a kind of kill team? I don't know. Is that a unit? I just thought the ones they had like they have like reflective masks with no face on them, like that. Cool. Corsairs are the piratey in between of Eldari and Drukhari. Oh, okay. Drukhari are dark Eldari. Dark. Is there? Did they just change the name from Eldar to Eldari, or is there like a lore reason they kind of like change name? Well, or did they just do it for marketability? And another question: what are Harlequins? Are they like their own army now? Because I just remember them as being units in Dawn of War, but then again, so were Grey Knights. They are like a separate. I just joined and heard Harlequin. Hey, I summoned you. I was just wondering, like, what are Harlequins exactly? They were their own army for a bit. But they stopped being their own army. They were just trying it out, or what? Like, nah, this is not for us. Otherwise, they're their own thing. Otherwise, they're not like units Eldari. Oh. So how do you play Eldari? They have to be their own army. And they come in with their own detachment. Oh, they come in like... Oh, what's that called? Like Deep Strike? Or whatever? Infiltrate? Oh wait, infiltrate is that you put them there before. And deep striking, yeah. You play all harlequins, but they're bad right now. I mean, I can understand, like, oh, it's not liking bad. Just because I don't play the game, I've I'm like, but who cares? It's the models that are cool. But I mean, if you do play the game, that is something you'd care about. His stuff looks amazing in the Black Templar. Yeah, lore is freaking amazing, and he has all the armies, infinite armies, and all the cool toys, the 3D printer, and the paint spray machine. What's it called? Airbrush. Heckin' amazing. Oh, that lovely dreadnought. Oh. That smooth yellow. The wingspan in the background. I think the dreadnought is my favorite. Cone shift works so well. Yeah, it looks amazing. Just, I really like the bright colors. That's why I'm doing these as well in white. Because white, I feel like white is easier to do, at least, than yellow. I don't know if I'm right about it. My yellow always turned out either too bland or too smudgy. Because I can't layer very well. I'll do a yellow if not for an airbrush these days. Yeah. Yeah, that's why this one looks so good, because I did it with the really shitty airbrush that Games Workshop had back in the day. Which I still have, but I don't think it works anymore. Or I need to clean it out properly a lot. Yeah. And that's why this one looks partly well-based. But then I ran out of yellow. And I was like, I'll call it for the day. And the next time I tried it, the thing was working. So it's half done. The key things to look for getting an airbrush. I'll direct you to Lore, who has them. It seems like such a cool thing to use for art, just in general as well. I mean that's why it's one of the brushes in Photoshop, right? It's airbrush, and I used it back in the day all the time for like science fiction art and everything, and just in general photoshopping before Photoshop existed. Thing is, I got like 5 tanks to paint. I don't really want to do it by hand. I mean, you're still gonna have to do it by hand, but I guess large surfaces might be useful. Or just gradients. Airbrush is really good for gradients, I think. Stab myself. How are you doing, chair? Should I call you? How should I call you, LT chairs? Do I say that right, or should I say chairs? Or LT? Fangda FD 186K kit is where I started, so use the compressor, created the airbrush, throw the paint that comes with it in the bin. Right, so I guess you take paint and then you mix it with like a kind of special fluid that comes with it, or just with water, or what? Airbrush. And then I guess you also need to buy special paints for the airbrush. Ah. Bella Joe has specific airbrush paints. Oh, cool. Do you not have any issues with like splotches? Like when it goes like something? Or just manage to paint those over? Part of learning to use it to avoid that. True, I guess. Your favorite character model lore-wise? I haven't seen enough of them. There's a lot of them that I like. Lore-wise is even harder because I don't know the lore. And then I like Farsight. That's I learned about that one, and I know that's a relatively new model, and they've got a really cool sword, and they've got like flapping cloth in the wind and everything. They look cool. Void Dragon. Void Dragon. What is it? What are the coolest models? Or what are the newest models? Those are usually pretty cool, right? They had, what was his name? Tywin Lannister, the blood of the Green Angels. Fuck, I forgot the name. The Green Angels. What are they called? The Lion. Oh yeah. But he's a space marine, so he's a good space marine, so he's isn't corrupted, so he's not. But it's a relatively new model, right? The relatively new models look the coolest. But it's a Necron, Void Dragon. Oh, that sounds good. Because the new, not Necron models looked really cool. Void Dragon. No, not. Necron. Oh my. He's a Necron? Is he like is he like a Necron god? Is he like one of those Necron gods? Because he looks a bit more. He's a Catan. Okay, right. Yeah, those are their gods, right? That they locked up. I don't know what they something bad. Parasite of Mortrax. Shared and enslaved by the Necrons. Well, he looks a bit. Wait, is he still? Oh, is that? No, that's the tail. Is this one controlled or did he break free? Because he looks in control. Parasite of Mort. Ooh, he looks cool. Like a Mutalist queen. Sorry, I relate everything to StarCraft. Oh, very cool. He's free, but only a shard of his full self. Heckin' rad. Norn Emissary. Norn Emissary. That's another. They made a bunch of new Tyranids, right? This 10th edition. Right. It's like a Mutalist plus a Xenomorph lays eggs inside its victims. Nice. Heck yeah. When Bay flies over and lays eggs inside of you. like a mosquito that's like 14 times your size. Oh, no, wait, they don't lay eggs. Drink your blood. Well. I think that. Rocket launcher, put on. Birds fly over and you lay eggs in you all the time now. Yeah, no, it's pretty common for me, honestly. Just a normal bird. I don't know why they call it a parasite. Just a normal bird. Speaking of, you were playing a lot of Wingspan, right? It was you, right? It was someone in chat who was playing a lot of Wingspan. Oh no! Wait, I was playing Wing. I'm just reminded of it because it was in the background of Laura's Dreadnought picture. Playing what? Okay, I guess it was not you playing Wingspan. Who was it? Was someone playing? Oh, I think it was names. Anyway, what are you saying? I think you should listen to the infinite and the divine. I think it's the best way to get into 40k lore. Two old Necron men at each other's throats across the vastness of time, with some comedy between them. What, is it like an audiobook? This is honestly the part that annoys me the most. Like, having these fans. Like, on this, like part that's gonna be attached to their back. Like here. Having these vents be cut in two. And then, like... Because it's the connecting line, but you know it's what's supposed to be solid piece. Really annoying me. I know there's like these ways, these complicated ways to like melt the plastic together to like hide the seam, but my god. That's difficult. Alright. Well, I guess we can glue that on later. Rocket pods. And now I'm scared to like glue like important bits together, because I didn't quite like how some of the poses came out with these. Because I just went like, oh, glue bits on, and then it's like, oh, I can't make him aim the gun anymore because I ran out of parts to have that arm aim the gun. Got here, gotta make him stand on the rock. So what are your guys? What color? How? Which you think is coolest? I got the white ones, right? Or the what kind of what cast is the white one anyway? Or sects? How sects? The red town. Yeah, they are cool. That's the far side ones, right? Yeah. Far side enclave. I just wanted red is just a bit too dark. But I guess you could make them white / red. Bit. But I think they already use red for like the command units that have red helmets or something. Resin is toxic. Oh, that's why you use it. Thor loves being toxic. Always. Where's... Oh man, what a base. That's a big base. Wait, which is the inside? Hey, Saina Jumu, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome. What were you up to? Can I do a shout out? Have I already done a shout out? Do it automatically? No. I have given a shout out. What were you up to? Ooh, this Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. Ooh. I'm doing well, yes. I'm making a POW commander. Here we go. I've been at it for my god, almost 3 hours. As you can see from these loose parts. It's not going very quickly. 7 years! Marvel vs. Capcom 1. That's like a fighter game, right? I'm very knowledgeable. I know very many things. Anyway, I am Wilton. I am a tree. I'm currently using my roots to mind control this human corpse that's been lying around. Because their fingers are much more nimble. So if you're wondering why a tree has human hands, there you go. This I've never played it. I'm not very good at fighting games. Ooh, everyone's suddenly lounging. It's lounging on me. Working on. God, where did I put? Did I put the leg stem? Did I cut it out? Hello, Edix. Welcome. How are you? Scene. Part 16. Anyway, Dynamic, are you also into 40k? I can't say I'm like hyper into 40k, but I like the model. Been on this one. Fortunately, no, but it does seem like a cool franchise. Yeah, I mean, it's just hyper expensive to buy all the models and stuff. But they are cool models. It's cut it. But where is it? Oh, God. It's over here. Whew. Okay. This one. Would expect so. Build your own models overall ain't cheap. Yeah. I mean, so Gundams are also cool. This one was only $20 and it came pre-colored. Ooh, I love Gundam. I wish I had more. Get out now whilst you can. Save the money. You can't say that, Lore. You've been trying to get me into it for ages. You maniac. Just like Quinn. Psychopaths trying to get people into plastic crack. I already have a lot to spend, so I'm good. Yes, that is a good attitude. Only when you've got way too much money, get into it. And I don't. These were gifted to me. And I just had to pay for the glue, which is why it took me at least 4 months to start. Hey, Lord, what Gundams do you have? You showed me pictures that you were looking at Gundams in store. Surely you have some as well, right? Back to the base. Put the... Technically, I could make it fly, but I prefer the base. The real problem is if I want to paint this model, I have to base it, and I don't have white spray. That is a thing. It's another raid. Ah. Noe the Snow Fox. Hello, welcome. It is the fox. The smelly fox. No, he's not smelly. He's great. You should check him out. They call him out. Oh, it's Snowy. It's Swoony. It's Swoony the Swoon Fox. I mean the Snow Fox. It's Smelly the Swoon Fox. There he is. Cut this tree. No! Don't cut me. I'll cut you back. I got a knife. Thank you for the follow. I should say, hello, I'm Wilton. I'm a tree. Don't worry about these human hands. I'm controlling a corpse that is buried near me. I just use their fingers. Look, I can cut myself. It's fine. See, it's just a corpse. Don't worry about it. Your corpse puppet has a knife, it would seem. Yes. And thank you for the follow, Foil the Cat. 40k models, yes. As a Brit, I think you're a British Snow Fox, right? And judging judging the people on the continent, I know. So I'm sure you have a lot of 40k yourself, right? I'm just I'm building a Tau commander because I'm a weeb. I love Gundams. So I'm building the robots. Well, they're not robots, they're mechs, but yes. I don't have corpses to control to build things. What? Don't you have really fine... Well, I guess you need opposable thumbs, huh? Does make it more difficult. Owls of Shame is forest. Yeah, I guess. Paws don't work well with knives. You've got built-in knives in your teeth. They're basically knives. Just bite out the spruces. Figuring out how these things are supposed to stand is difficult. That's why I do trading card games. Ooh, trading cards games. I also have a habit of eating all the glue. Don't eat the glue, I've got so little. Look at how tiny this thing is. That's like one small snack. Things are so complex. We do Yu-Gi-Oh! Ah. I never did the TCG. I did do, what did Fantasy Flight call them? Not trading card games, but like you could buy booster packs, kind of, but it was predetermined what was in them. They were just expansion packs. Living card games. That's the one. I had a bit of Netrunner, and I had a bit of Warhammer Fantasy. What's it called? Invasion, I think it was called. Warhammer Invasion. I remember when I was a wee boy, they didn't notice the AC failed at the Games Workshop, and a kid passed out from too much super glue. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but it got too fast and too much reading for me, I fear. Eric, that Netrunner we played, fuck that. We played Netrunner? Did I slaughter you? I can't remember. I think we just played like the starter decks, didn't we? You did, it was rough. Was it as rough as the war or the Star Wars we did? Or was it the Star Wars X-Wing? You keep flying off the map as soon as, while you're winning, you fly off the map and forfeit accidentally. I killed myself more often than not. Oof. We need to play again. I need some wins. Guess you could do that with like EMP weapons, right? Because they just make you fly forward. Just EMP them enough until they fly off the map. I kind of want to do more like board or card games, maybe on stream, but I feel like it's going to be incredibly slow. But then again, I am incredibly slow. Freeway. Loot is on the wrong way. My god. Oh, I could still turn it. Probably. Don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Flying forward with weapons is PTSD from playing gun. What the gun frog? What's gun frog? They're like Gundam, but the Gundams are frogs? That sounds amazing. Frog with a gun for a mouth. Hell yeah. Speaking, what were you playing, Zoe? Were you playing Gun Frog? Or were you playing, what was the game? Kill, murder game? Kill, murder, stab. You were playing it. Oh. Gun Frog. What was the game you were playing before? It looked chaos as hell. But the Kill Knight, that's the one. We have fulfilled our contractual obligation on Kill Night. It was chaos. It looked madness, to be honest. Absolute chaos. Like a bullet hell slash... Like a really high Diablo... What's it called? Rift. Gun frog. It literally is just a frog with a gun. Oh, that's great. Apparently there's also an AI emoji generator that has a lot of variations of gun frog. My god. It gets easier the more soundlers get played, for real, for real. I knew I was helping. The dancing fox always helps. Or, sorry, it's a dancing kitten. Screaming fox. Your alerts are honestly so, or not alerts. Redeems are so good. And I don't think I ever saw someone have a video to alert or to introduce yourself to raiders. That's so clever. Stole the idea of someone who stole the idea of someone. I guess I'll have to steal it, you know, to keep it alive. But that would require me making a video. That does seem like work. Is the way, though. Way. I finally glued the thing on and I picked the wrong one. Wrong stuff. Every time. Just about the clips, really. True. Gotta get the clips. Go. Leg. Leg. Wait. Focus. Egg. One chicken leg. And then a dozen more chicken. No, only. Two. First, I got the idea from just made theirs in basic in browser editor, and it's still really. I also saw people actually have, I guess it's like a plugin or something, where they show when someone raids, they show clips from the channel that raided them, which also seems like a really great idea to like use raiders or your current viewers to a raider. I need to look into how to do that as well. Maybe I'll get it done in like a year or something. Welcome to watching glue dry. Free. What a good time for my auto message. Ask if you're enjoying it. You know, sitting under these hot lights, maybe. I mean, the corpse is starting to rot a little, I feel. Or dry out. Might have to end stream soon. You gotta keep your corpses well moistened. The glue fumes that get to them. Oh. Standing. Home again. Go again. Desert. The two vast trunks. Something. Ozyman dies. Oh, well. Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, half sunk, shattered visage eye. Soon there will be two legs. Oh. Go. Hatch first. Then. I prefer Gundam. Well, not that I've built that many. They don't even need glue. Pretty cool. Oh dear. Ooh, legs. How do they compare? Or twice as tall. Well, standing on some rubble. I'll just hold off on gluing that. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end stream. I'll probably finish this one off stream. But the painting, I'll continue to do... well, probably next week or something. Got some black paint, so I can do... well, the black parts, like on this one. But on the other ones... well, and then I got some whites to start to highlight all these panels, be more like on the box, whichever sect this is, whichever Tau sect this is, and so it fits in with the Gundam. Woo! Honestly, I saw some where they paint Gundams as well, like custom, which is really cool. This is just the colors it came in, and with some stickers on. Came with, of course, as well. Although I did do panel lining on this. Like, yeah. For sure, Ed painted them, even the pre-painted one. The thing is, I don't know it would stick very well. I think you need to like sand it a little. And they won't be able to move anymore if they are primed. Or at least they'd be crunchy. I think. But panel lining does a lot, honestly. Like having all these panel lines stand out. That adds a lot. But you don't get like stuff like dirt and effects like that on here. Yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the stream. Thanks for the raiders. Thanks for the new followers. Sorry, everything was so slow. Yes, it's that's the hobby. At least when you reintroduce yourself to the hobby, and you're not like Pega, who's like a zoomer. Anyway, I'll be streaming again next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And yeah, hope you have a good weekend, everyone. And I hope to see you next week. Is there anyone I can continue to raid? Ooh. Oh. Got Branchman, maybe? Cinder? I wonder if Branchman does 40k as well. Let's raid Branchman. It's been a while. And we gotta help the forest, right? We gotta help the forest people. Playing Balatro at the moment. I haven't played that, but I heard it's really addicting. Considering people just get it and then disappear for hours in there. Like some kind of poker game, I think. But anyway, yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I will tree you all next week or later. Bye bye.